Welcome back to What's Up, Cuz. How do your boys feel about their sister having a boyfriend?
But I would be doing the same thing.
You don't get along with me, there's a problem.
Your family's opinion matters. Buddy had unexpected foot surgery.
If you like the guy, go talk to him.
That's probably the advice I would have gave too, I have to say. No, not at all. I raised her well, Erica.
You made a good call.
That's how I would approach it.
She gets the days, I get the nights.
Before she goes, I want to answer this first.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to What's Up, Cuz. I am your co-host, Erica Spira.
And I'm Lisa Valastro.
And we have a special guest for you guys today. First time on the show.
Oh,
Everybody,
yeah.
Please welcome Marco Valastro.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Thanks for coming on. Lisa was telling me, big update on you.
Big update on Marco. Marco had his second shoulder surgery.
Ooh, second.
Out for a whole other winter and spring season. Second year in a row.
Yeah, it's been pretty bad this time because I can't play lacrosse or anything, so it's a lot worse.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
year are you? Junior?
Sophomore.
Sophomore.
Yeah.
Okay.
So believe it or not, last year's shoulder surgery was worse than this year's, but because, and again, I'm not a doctor, but last year he required a bone graft. So he has some screws in there for the rest of his life. What? One or two screws? I think two, right?
Yeah, it's two screws.
Yeah.
around here
And
somewhere.
apparently bone heals faster than tissue. So he was only out for 4 months last year. So he was able to play his lacrosse season. But this year he had a labrum tear on his other shoulder. And tissue takes longer to heal. So it's a 6-month recovery. So he's out of not only ice hockey, but also lacrosse this year.
Oh,
so,
wow.
But I can play golf.
yeah.
I can play
Wait, really? They told you golf
yeah,
is
I
fine?
play- It's just
Yeah.
the contact part of it, I think so.
Yeah, you know what?
Wow.
Marco's left-handed, so I don't know nothing about golf, but apparently because his surgery was on his left hand and that's his dominant hand, the swing is not bad.
Interesting.
I don't know nothing about golf, but
Yeah.
if you know Marco, you know that he loves to play sports and it's killing him
I know.
to be out of ice hockey, lacrosse, snowboarding. You know, this is his second year he's missing of snowboarding.
That's tough.
So, hopefully next football season we'll come out of it in one piece.
Yeah, hopefully. So but you're doing physical therapy now?
Yeah, physical therapy twice a week.
Okay.
But I have full range of motion back already, which is surprising because I'm only like 6 weeks out from surgery.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
he's a fast healer.
I know. I was going to say, but are they like, you got to sit this whole season probably for lacrosse? Just
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
As a
Yeah,
No
precaution.
contact sports for 6 months.
The next time I'm back is June, which is the summer training for football.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but it'll be good. You have some recovery time. I know it
Yeah.
sucks missing it.
It
I've had to miss
does.
seasons. It sucks.
Yeah.
Those injuries, but we want you to be doing your best.
But it is what it is. I said to him, I said, you sure you want to revisit the whole football thing?
Yeah. I mean, tough.
He loves football. I mean, would you say that's your favorite sport?
Yeah, hands down. I really don't like as much as I used to lacrosse.
Why? I loved watching lacrosse.
lacrosse it's different. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
but
is it?
like-
What is it that you like more about football than lacrosse?
Like the team aspect of it. Like everybody's more like of like a brotherhood, and then lacrosse is more like
That's because I was team mom this year.
no, that
That's-
was no, because my freshman year when you weren't team mom, wasn't even this year. It was for my freshman year,
Mhm.
and lacrosse is more like kind of do whatever you want, and like it's just not as fun.
It's not a family brotherly love. Is that what you're
man.
saying?
Yeah, and it is. It's just also like last year we were dealing with coaching issues because our coach got fired, and then we had to get a new coach.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I know. It's like the drama of high school sport.
Yeah.
I don't
Let me
remember
tell
that.
you, the drama between the parents and high school sports,
Oh, that I'm
I
sure.
think is worse than anything.
I'm sorry, my phone should be on silent.
Yeah. How dare you, Marco?
Sorry.
Don't disrespect our podcast. I'm
Oh
kidding.
man, yeah. So let me tell you something. The more that my kids are getting older and I'm getting more involved in these sports things, gotta watch out for the parents.
Mhm. Yeah.
Some things that come out of their mouth, I'm like, I know I'm rough, but see, the way I explain myself is I'm a reaction.
Yeah.
I don't start it, but if I hear someone start it, I can't control myself.
Oh, yeah. Like talking
Yeah.
I mean, we could say talking shit about like your kid, like an opposing team.
Yeah. I remember a couple, what do you want to say? Maybe like 3-4 years ago. This was before you were in high school, that you were playing town lacrosse.
Yeah.
And, Marco is my physical kid. Like he doesn't take no crap, I guess you could say. And, if a kid goes after him, he's going to go right back after him. So I feel like it was more lacrosse that was happening with you. Some kid would check him and he would go right after him and check him back. That it got to the point that one time on the field, when I saw the kid check him and I knew exactly what he was going to do, I yelled out in the middle of the field, "Be the better person, Marco. Don't do it." And the mother on the other team said, "Oh, shut up." I'm like, did she just yell at me for reprimanding my son?
Yeah, you're like, I'm trying to help your son.
Like, I'm trying to be the nice one here, and you just tore me down. Like, that took me to the edge.
And then you're like, go get him, Marco. Take it back.
That's exactly, And I was like, now you can go get him.
You're like, now you can go.
Yeah.
All speed.
And I remember, what did you say? You heard me on the field, right?
I think I yelled, probably, maybe, I don't even know if I'm allowed to curse, but I probably yelled, "Shut the back."
You're not allowed to curse. Take that back.
The heat of the moment. Heat of the moment.
Oh, man.
I know. So I was like, anyone watching especially, I feel like they haven't seen you since you were little.
Yeah.
It was your first time on this show. People were shocked when Sophia and Buddy came on. They were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these are the Valastro kids now.
I know.
Because I was like,
big.
I was like, how old were you when the show started and then when it ended? Carlo was just born, right?
So Marco was 2. One of the first episodes we filmed on Cake Boss was Marco's 2nd birthday.
Wow. Okay. Do you remember that episode?
No. The episode that is most memory, I don't know. The one that I memorized the most is my one birthday with the Batman.
Which one was that?
Which one was that?
The Batman cake. I don't know. It was in the old house.
But that you feel like that's your first memory, really, of like
the
filming.
Show,
and
I think I was like 6, maybe.
Maybe, probably around that age. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, when I really started remembering like full days was probably kindergarten, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then when the show wrapped up, you filmed for what, like 10 years? So you were about 12, 13?
He's going to be 16, I want to say around 11, 12. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Someone submitted a question I thought was really interesting.
And no cursing.
I asked if I can, and
I said no.
No, you both said yes, and then
maybe an F-bomb, maybe a little much, maybe a little much.
Yeah, we're going to have to bleep that out.
It. Okay, so someone asked a question it was specifically to Lisa, but it involves you guys. It was, how do you feel with your kids having such a following?
Mm-hmm.
Do you at all feel like anxious or more protective? And I'm curious from your perspective, how does it feel like you're so young and like all these people are like, hey Marco,
Mm-hmm.
like, and you're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, my kids do have a big following on social media, but believe it or not, my kids are never on social media.
Yeah, right.
They're not social media kids from what I know and what I could tell. Like, they're not Instagrammable kids. Like, it's funny because my husband and I kind of tell them, you have such a big following, you should be a little bit more active on your social media. And they're like, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So I can't really say as far as being protective or not, because they don't even know what kind of followings they have. And if they do know, I don't even think they really, I don't know if care is the right word, but even though they were raised on TV, my husband and I have raised them to be the most normal, like anyone else could ever be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it shows in them now on how they just want to be normal kids.
Yeah, I don't want to be known as someone who is on Cake Boss or known for my following. That's not what I want people to like me for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that.
Like, my kids are very adamant. Like, I want you to like me for who I am, than not how many followers I have.
Right. I mean, especially, I find it in general, especially like boys versus, girls.
Yeah.
Girls tend to just post more naturally just because they like take more pictures naturally. They're more like, I got dolled up. I want to take a picture of my nice outfit. Because I was going to say, when I look at you and Buddy's stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, they don't like post very often. Or when you do, it's like always sports stuff.
Yeah, mine's just sports.
Like senior day. Like it seems like they all really come from like kind of like more sentimental places.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Again, we live a pretty normal life. Like, and again, the reason why I like to do my podcast is I love to answer questions from people to let them know we are as normal as can be, just like any other person out there. You know, my theory has always been we're all born the same way and we're all going to die. There's no in between. There's, you know, respect everyone. They respect you. You respect them back.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So it's not about who you are. It's not about how many followers you have or what you have. It's just being a good, respectful person.
Yeah. And it's something too, like, if you get in the social media game, you have to love it.
Yeah.
The people I know that like really do it, it's every day they're making videos, they're filming.
It's got to be very consistent.
Yeah, like people think it's so easy, and I'm like, it's really not.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah, every day you got to have an idea, film it, edit it, post it. Like
it's a full-time job, and I don't know. You tell me, are you into that? Are you into, you know?
Not really. I mean, I feel like when I get older, maybe I'll be into it more. But as of now, not really. I'm more focusing on sports right now, and that's
school.
Well,
and school, Marco, and school.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but yeah, I'm not like big on like posting really. I only post like during football season or lacrosse.
Coming from the guy that got a detention today.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little detention today, but it seems like that made you nervous.
No, I didn't. I wasn't nervous. I was just very frustrated because
it was just a miscommunication. You know, when he's the manager for the hockey team this year, it was partly his fault. He didn't make her aware that he was on the early dismissal list.
Well, I wasn't on the early dismissal list, which was the problem.
Yes. Okay. So he should have been on.
So you didn't hand in like your slip and your thing, and
to let them know that he was leaving early. So it was partially his fault.
So today you had to stay after?
Or no, it's next week. Next Tuesday or Thursday. I get to choose which day.
Do you think
he gets to choose the day?
You get to choose the day? What is this school? You get to just choose? Oh,
I'm just glad it wasn't a Saturday.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I know.
I'm assuming that the Saturday detentions are for the really bad things.
Well, the teacher was yelling at me saying, "You're lucky I didn't give you a Saturday detention. It's not me who gets to make the decision. It's your dean." And she's like, "You're lucky your dean likes you."
Oh, okay.
You are in the wrong.
You didn't turn in your stuff on time.
That's you are in the wrong.
Yeah.
So just say, "I'm sorry, I was wrong," and move on.
You know, if you argue, it just makes it worse, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't arguing. I was just sitting and saying, okay, like I said, I'm sorry, but she didn't want to hear it. So
okay, as long as you said I'm sorry and be respectful. That's all I raise. I want my kids to just be respectful.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with something, they don't have to be the yes people, but there's a respectful way to get your point across.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I want them to voice their opinion, but in a respectful way. And that's the only thing I ask of them.
I mean, I once had a teacher, we would have to get every test signed, even if you got 100 on the test.
Wow.
That's and I would just intense. Thank you. Okay. I didn't agree with her policy. I feel you, Marco. You're a little like, all right, you know.
The problem is now, no matter what grade you get on, no matter actually good grades, you don't get emails home. But if you get a bad grade, you'll get an email home
emails right away. So, but that was her thing. She's like, I want your parents to be in the loop because I don't want report cards to come. And if you're not doing well, they're like, why didn't you tell me, blah, blah. And this is before we didn't have the portal you sign in and your parents could see every little thing that you ever did. But I was, I would just forget to do it because I was like, well, but I didn't have to bring like my math folder home. I'm like, I didn't have homework. We took the test, like whatever. And she'd be looking at me and she's like, you should be so proud to bring this home and get this signed. And I was like, whatever. But then I would have to stay after school. It wasn't an official detention. She would just make you stay at her class. But because I played sports, I would just shrug like, I have to stay after anyway. And I just go, okay. And I'd sit there and I'd do my homework. Yeah. And she just kept being like, you don't want to stay after again, Erica. And I was kind of like, this doesn't matter to me. But it was something that I was like, I wanted to fight her policy. And I just would shrug like, all right, like I'll get it signed later.
Listen, my theory is this. I think that there are good teachers out there and there are bad teachers out there. There's good and bad in every profession. But you have to respect people because in life, you're always going to find the people that you're going to agree with and not agree with. But it doesn't mean that you have to work with them. Yeah, it's just the reality of life. So when they're at this stage of the game in high school and they have teachers that, they get along with or not get along with, it's all a teaching moment for the future. So you have to just be a good schmoozer. You got to just, know your way around it.
I know. You got to work the system.
Yeah, you got to work the system, basically, because the world is a system.
Whatever charm you got on that dean, Marco, you just got to get it on this teacher.
Well, it's not like it's not a charm. It's just like I'm just like honest with the dean.
Work the system. Honesty is always the best policy. And you know what? As long as you're respectful, that's all I ask for. Because I don't ever want to get a phone call saying that you were disrespectful. Because then you got to answer to me.
Have you ever gotten a phone call?
No, I have not.
Okay.
So I just want to make sure that, it's in black and white.
Okay. Well, we did get some questions in for today. So if you guys want to send us any questions, you can email us. It's whatsupcuzpod@gmail.com. That's whatsupcuzpod@gmail.com. So we got a short question here. What is the hardest part about buddy traveling? So for you, husband traveling. For you, dad traveling a lot.
The hardest part of buddy traveling, which he actually just started filming his new show. So he's been traveling. He's actually gone all week on the West Coast. When my husband comes home, we're a very close family. And, as soon as he walks in through the door, he's like, where are the boys? Where's if my daughter's home? My daughter's been home. She hasn't been back at college yet till next week. But he's like, where's my daughter? Like he wants to just see everybody. And it's missing that part of it. And, at nighttime, getting into bed, it's, how was your day? It's missing that person to talk to for 10 minutes. During the day, we don't talk much because he's busy at the factory. I'm busy running around the kids. But it's also just to have that other person to bounce off ideas with, or, what did you think of this? And what did you think of that? So that's the part I miss when he travels. I mean, as far as the kids, Marco could answer. What do you miss about it?
Probably just like at nighttime, sitting at the dinner table, having like that 30-minute conversation about how his day was, about what's new with the factory, or just like even on Sundays, sometimes just watching football.
Yeah.
Sit down watching football, like playing pool sometimes. Like it's just like.
Yeah. Marco likes to do stuff with my husband, like playing pool. He's more my sports kid. He's more active kid.
Buddy and my dad go fishing a lot. That's
I was going to ask, are you a fisher? Or
no, I don't do fish. I throw up when I fish.
Oh, really? Oh, you don't like the boat? The boat's not for you?
No, Marco's more playing pool with my husband, bowling, more that type of stuff, when little buddy is more the fisherman.
Yeah, little downtime. I was going to say, I have a question. Family dinner. Do you have any rules of like, no phones out? Everybody talking?
No, the phones are always out. The phones are always out. The only rule that we have is everyone just, after they're done eating, puts their dish in the sink.
Right. Or I guess participate, right? Everybody's got to share something from their day.
Yeah, and everyone pretty much does. Sometimes I'll turn around and say, what is the one thing that sticks out in your mind the most about today?
Right.
My husband always has the same answers. Coming home to you.
Oh, really? He knows. He's like, I rehearsed this. This one always leaves everybody happy. Okay. So everybody, once again, if you want to send us a question, it's whatsupcuzpod@gmail.com. That's whatsupcuzpod@gmail.com. Okay. Someone sent us a question of, hi, Lisa and Erica. My son is having a little bit trouble making friends. He's 24 years old and he's never really made any good friends in college or in his high school years. So what advice would you have to help someone my son's age make some new friends? Thanks.
Well, he's 24 years old, so I'm assuming he's in the workforce of somewhere. So my first suggestion would be like, see who you work with, see who's around you. Maybe, go get a drink with someone, or, grab a dinner or something,
lunch,
something, just to capture someone's attention of, starting to build a friendship of a relationship. That would be my first thought, because you got to start where you are every day. So what do you think, Marco? What would you do if you saw someone that was like looking for a friend? Or
I definitely go up, start talking to them, and if they're not intrigued, try to get them intrigued. You bring them around your other friends so they can meet new people. I mean, I'd probably go out on the weekends if I was trying to look for friends. Go out on the weekends somewhere with either in his work buddies or anybody. Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, he's 24. My son's like 16 in a couple weeks, so it's hard to compare. But I'm pretty sure, and you could tell me, like, if someone was new at school, for instance, and you saw that they really didn't have any friends, what would be your thing to do?
I'd go talk to them, invite them to eat lunch with us, like, just be very friendly, open to them.
I know, it can be so intimidating because it's always, people are just afraid of the rejection.
Yeah.
It's so scary to go up to a group of people you don't know. But I'm like, especially at work, it's like, we're all adults, we're all professional.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you ask somebody like, oh, you want to grab lunch, or even like, I don't know where you work, but often in the city when at my day job, we would just like be like, oh, let's go like get that afternoon coffee. And when it was a beautiful day, sometimes like half the office would go just to like, let me just go walk outside for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like get a little fresh air. Like everybody feels better.
Don't they have like a lot of stuff on the internet now? Like even like just
They
social
do.
gatherings.
Yeah. So there's different websites. There's like meetup.com is one that has like literally it was designed originally for people wanting to just meet other people.
Yeah.
So not necessarily dating. It would be events. Like, I mean, we talked about, you did a pay and sip. It's like something like that. I knew friends that would do it for comedy shows.
Yeah.
And so it'd just be like, you'd come as an audience member of the comedy show. And then after everybody's like having a drink, talking, being friendly. I was going to say, since you are a sports guy, but obviously you're at the high school level. I remember making some friends in the city I joined like some basketball league. I joined a team. I only knew one girl on the team joining, but then you meet, you know, 10 other girls that also played, you know, college basketball. And it's like, oh, okay, we already have this in common.
Exactly.
A lot of times it's like, you got to look at what your own interests are. Cause it's tough of like, I remember one person once was like, oh, there's running clubs. And I was like, oh, not for me. I was like, I just go run outside for miles and miles and miles. But if that's your thing, it's like, oh, what a great place to meet people. My friend would do it and they would end at a brewery. So they would run like whatever loop and then end at the brewery and then I'll have a drink, hang out, have some dinner. And
I'm pretty sure like if he looks up in the areas of, it's not even like, again, they have hundreds of dating apps. I'm pretty sure they have hundreds of, you know, what's your interest? If you like to hike, I'm pretty sure they have a hiking club of some sort that people go hiking together, or there's got to be something on the internet.
Yeah,
there
if you like to travel, there's like groups you can sign up for.
Exactly.
And they also do ones that are age ranges, you know, because like I knew someone that went, she was a widow and a little bit older. So she went on this group and it was all like 40, 50-year-old women. And she's like, we had a ball.
Yeah.
And plenty of those women were still married. And they were like, I just wanted to come here and my husband didn't. So I'm looking to have a good time. So
that's where I would start. I would probably start because we live in the technology age.
Yeah.
But, you know, that I would definitely start on the computer.
Right. That and then whatever interests you.
Yeah.
Do you like sports? Do you like video games?
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of video game players out there that would love to become friends.
I know, right? I think the key is like, you just have to put yourself out there a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It feels weird going to events like that sometimes. And I've gone to ones that were like dating ones and they feel weird. Right before you go, you're like, oh, I don't, you know.
Yeah.
But then you're like, well, everybody else is coming for the same reason. Like, everybody's looking to meet people.
Exactly. And you know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of because you don't know anybody in there.
Exactly.
So what's the worst thing that could happen?
I know, right? So just have to get out there. I know it's easier said than done, but you'll find something. Don't push him, by the way. This was his mom, I think, that emailed him.
Yeah, definitely don't push him. Yeah, definitely not.
When someone pushes you, Marco, do you want to do something more or less?
Probably a lot less. Yeah.
That's easy. So, guys, if we don't have any other updates, that's it for our episode today. So thank you all for tuning in. And thank you for listening and watching. If you want to leave us a comment, please comment on the YouTube link and email us a question at whatsupcuzpod@gmail.com. Thank you so much for coming on, Marco.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah.
Thanks. It was fun.
Till next time, everybody.
Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.